Hiya guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be all about cold porcelain clay and my first impressions on it, because I have never used it before. I really don't even know much about it other than you air dry it as opposed to normal porcelain like clay. You would use a kiln to fire it and make it harden. This stuff air dries. And I know it has a really beautiful finish, and so I would like to try it for myself and see if it's something that I can work into my sculpting routine, and maybe we can learn something together here. So without further ado, let's go clay. So this is the clay I'm going to be trying out, the Polymer Model Air porcelain clay. So first I'm just going to open the package, see how it feels. Okay, so here's a little piece. Oh, it feels weird. It's definitely softer than clay that I generally like to work with. Okay, so it doesn't seem to pick up dust very much because it's not sticky at all. It does look very pretty. I don't really see how I can make much of anything with it being this soft. It is very, 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 very soft. Yeah, it's not sticky. Okay. Oh. Well, that's not fun. This is a bust. Okay, I don't understand. Let's do a color experiment. I'm going to make 3 colors, and I'm just gonna do that. Mix it together. Ooh, maybe I did too much. So we have successfully made a pink, a yellow, and a blue. Let's make like a little rainbow. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cure. All right, so we'll be back in 24 hours. All right, it's now been 23 hours-ish, about, since this piece was made. There is still some dust. You can tell the clouds, they cured very translucent. There's lots of, you can see a lot of little, I'm going to call them like little swirlies on the inside. And I'm wondering if maybe I didn't condition it well enough. I'm sorry if my hands are kind of dirty. They're not too bad. As you can tell from the intro, I dyed my hair and I kind of have dye still around me. So if my hands look like it's dirt, it's not. It's just dye. Now that being said, let's test the durability of it. I mean, it feels pretty hard. No chips came off. Now you want things to be flexible. You don't want it to be rigid. Okay, it bounced right back. Okay, that broke. I'm not surprised. Okay. Going back to its shape. All right, I'm gonna drop it on the floor. Don't recommend to do this at home. All right, I'm about 5 feet off the ground. Oh, where'd it go? Oh my goodness, I have to get this. It landed right side up. What are the odds? Okay, so I dropped it from pretty high and I see nothing wrong with it. I'm actually really impressed. This was a polymer clay head that I've had, playing around with different like face designs and stuff. But I wanted to see how it would do as hair on a chibi. So I used this blank chibi head that I had, and then I gave her some like brownish, long, curly hair, pigtail things. I must say, I actually really like it. I like the flexibility of it. It's really nice. Like, you know, I just bent it really good there and it didn't come off. I mean, I guess we can see its breaking point. I mean, that's okay. I mean, you'd have to really bend it. You'd have to be trying to break it for it to come off. So I like it with hair. I like that it does stick. Oh, it does pop off. Oops. Well, even cooler, you could even potentially make like interchangeable hairs for certain characters, or you could just super glue this on and boom, pretty easy. And then I wanted to see how it would take to a mold. I used this Luma mold of mine right here. I made myself. And I mixed some yellow oil paint and some glow-in-the-dark powder. And I'll insert right here that he actually glows really well. I was impressed by how well it took to the glow powder. And last night I was thinking, you know, I had been reading through some directions on making your own cold porcelain clay, and they had mentioned you putting in extra cornstarch to make it not so soft. So I got some cornstarch from my kitchen and I mixed some of it in and made a couple pieces. I made a face and I was actually able to kind of keep the shape of it how I wanted. I wanted kind of like a short chubby face. It's not perfect by any means, but I was able to blend the nose in pretty well. All right, guys, so let's summarize what we learned from this adventure. Polymer clay has has its ups and downs too, so it's really hard to necessarily say that one thing is good and one thing is bad. It all comes down to personal preference. So let me go into what I like and what I don't particularly care for. I like that it's not sticky. You think it's going to be sticky when you first take it out of the package, but it's actually quite smooth to the touch and it doesn't hold fingerprints very well. It's very easy to get a nice smooth finish. Oh my gosh. Okay then, it's not sticky. I like that. I do like that you can color it using paints. It does give you a lot of freedom to make kind of whatever color you want without having to, you know, go and purchase multiple colors. And so I think that's pretty neat. It does seem to take powders pretty well. It took the glow powder really well for pigmenting as far as like actually showing up with the glow. I haven't tried like mica powders to see if it gets a more metallic glittery type of finish, so that it is something that I will continue to play around with. It is flexible. I love that it's flexible. Polymer clay does have some give to it when you bake it properly, depending on the brand that you use, but it is still pretty fragile. This clay seems to be very bendable. It's very flexible and has a lot of give to it, which is really appealing for small pieces such as hair or accessories that a character or something might have. And I do like that it can attach to polymer clay that you can use as like with hair. It did pop off, but you could very easily super glue that on. It's not like it was completely repellent when I was attaching the hair to the head. It held on fairly well, so I was able to kind of blend it on and get a nice finish. It wasn't till it cured that it was able to come off. Now, here's the things I wasn't so crazy about. It is very soft. I really like using a more firm clay. I don't like it when my clay is very soft, so that was really challenging for me personally. Adding the cornstarch did help some, so I will continue to try that, which kind of leads me into my next point is you don't have the longest working time because you have air coming onto the clay as you're working, so it's curing as you're working with it. You can add more clay that is still in the airtight container. You can add some water, so there is that, but I don't like feeling like I'm on the clock. Like I have a timer saying I have to get it done in a certain time. that makes me a little nervous, and it takes some of the enjoyment out of working on it away from me. Again, that's just a personal preference. Another thing I really wasn't all that crazy about, and this goes for anything, I mean, it's in the name. It's air dry. You have to wait for it to dry. You can't just be like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go pop it in the oven and then I can keep working on it later. You have to let it air dry. And I can be pretty impatient. So I would have to wait for it to cure, and that kind of stunk. I'm gonna keep playing with it because I have a ton. And I think it could be really fun to use as accessories or extra things. I don't think it's gonna replace my polymer clay because I love my polymer clay. But I do think that it is going to be fun to play around with, to have extra things that I can add. I can do hair on characters without worrying as much if it's gonna break. And so I think it's really fun. I'm happy I tried it. I hope you learned something from this video too. Maybe you can go give cold porcelain a try. So that is a polymer clay artist first impression on cold porcelain clay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I totally forgot to say that if you did enjoy this video, please comment and like this video and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And that's all I have, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!